Ciao gente. Thank you for clicking on the video. I play PvZ and I have a horrible stutter, so please keep that in mind. And that's it, so enjoy the video, punks. The Captain Deadbeard class is the zombie sniper class. A sniper class's job is to lock down an entire area on the map. Let's take Zombopolis Point 3 for an example. On Zombopolis Point 3, if Deadbeard stands on this elevated surface, he has complete control of this entire right side point of the map, with being able to snipe any plants coming its way, and the plants having to come to you rather than you going to the plants. The plants have a very difficult time attacking Deadbeard on this point, due to the plants either having to walk into the zombie spawn, or in the capture point just to challenge him. The plants have a very difficult time attacking Deadbeard on this point, due to the plants having to put themselves in such risky spots. The plants could either walk on the right side, which would lead them right to the capture point, which, as we know, capture points mostly have teammates, so that plant is risking fighting a 1v3 situation. And if the plant is to walk on the left side, that is where your entire spawn point is, meaning zombies are spawning there, which would again lead to a 1v3 situation. Or you could choose either Pea Shooter, a Colonel Corn, or Citron to contest that Deadbeard's high ground. This is one of the many examples of Captain Deadbeard being able to lock down an entire area of the map. Be sure to find one of these on at least every map, since trust me, they are very annoying and very beneficial, so do it. Deadbeards are amazing if they are played at either long or mid-ranged. Due to the Deadbeards having no drop-off damage, he could stand and shoot wherever he wants to on the map and still deal the exact same damage. If you're still confused, a drop-off damage means the further you are on the map, the less damage you will deal. For an example, a Reg Soldier at long range deals 8 damage, but up close deals 10 damage. And meanwhile, if Reg Deadbeard is at long range, he deals 30 damage. And at close range, still dealing 30 damage. Hope that makes sense. The Deadbeard class has a unique property where he receives not one, but 2 entire weapons. And let me explain. If Deadbeard is just firing his primary normally, he will receive a shotgun like primary, which deals a lot of damage, but only at the close range. If you try using this shotgun at either a medium or long range distance, it just won't hit. So don't do that. Every Deadbeard variant also has their own shotgun, which of course we will go over later in the variants section. Deadbeard's second weapon is his sniper, which he can access by zooming in. This sniper weapon is how Deadbeard shoots at medium and long range distances, which of course every Deadbeard variant receives their own sniper. And once again, we will go over more in the variants section. The shotgun weapon has a tech to fire the shotgun faster, which results in more damage per second. This tech has no name to it, so I'm just gonna name it the Captain Deadbeard Shotgun Fire Rate Magnificent Basket. Yeah, the Captain Deadbeard Shotgun Fire Rate Magnificent Basket could only be performed if you're using either regular Deadbeard, Captain Cannon, or Captain Partyman. So first things first, select one of these old men. Next, fire your shotgun, zoom in, shoot your sniper, on release your zoom in, then fire your shotgun. If you performed all this correctly and quickly, you should get something like this. There's a lot happening with this tech, so please don't be discouraged if you can't do it on your first try, second try, or your 6th. Just keep trying. And if you're really struggling with it, then hey, don't worry about it. You don't need to learn this tech, but it is very helpful though. Deadbeard's hitbox is surprisingly really hard to hit. Due to him being really damn skinny, his hitbox is pretty much just a stick. So while fighting him, make sure you always go for the head, otherwise this will happen.
Plasma P, jeez. What is this?
A Deadbeard pretty much has just one weakness to his name, and that's simply just another sniper. It really sucks when the only counter to a sniper is just another sniper. But sadly, that's just how some shooter games are, to be honest. So be sure to watch out for any cacti, specifically Future Cactus and Camel Cactus, since Future could deal 104 damage and Camel Cactus could two-shot you. So be careful. And some of you may be asking,
Dry, Mr. 5,000-hour player? Why can't you just rush the Deadbeard class? Snipers are usually weak up close, and even if he has a shotgun, surely they're the better character to kill him up close.
yeah, not really. Barrel of Deadbeards is Deadbeard's first ability, or just Barrel for short. Upon pressing Barrel, there's a lot happening. First things first, you turn into a barrel. While being in the barrel, you are restricted to only 3 options. 1, you could move around. 2, you could press your primary button to ignite a fuse on your barrel. Once that fuse is completed, Deadbeard is launched into the air while dealing 150 damage to any plants nearby. Or 3, you could just jump out of the barrel. This is performed by pressing your interaction button, which is either E for your keyboard, a square on PS4, or X on Xbox. So with everything we just covered, here is a quick pop quiz. What is the best way to use barrel? Is it either killing a plant, hiding as a barrel, or the central isn't all that good? If you said yes for any of these answers, you're wrong. The best way to use barrel is for running away. The best way to use barrel is for either running away or for reaching high ground. And let's talk about why. While Deadbeard is hiding in the barrel, he receives a big defense boost. The defense boost provided is 81.2% defense boost, if my math is correct, which I think it is. So what that means is you will take almost little to no damage whatsoever, which means if a plant is close by, or if you're being attacked, just hop into your barrel and simply run away. And that's it. It is the most coward thing you can ever do, but it is the best way to use the ability. Since you're pretty much unkillable with the 81% defense boost, it is very counterintuitive as to what the ability is meant to do, but the 81% defense boost is just too high and just you have to abuse it. A barrel could also be used to reach high ground surfaces. To perform this tech, light up the barrel's fuse, and when Deadbeard launches out of the barrel, hold backwards for a split second, then immediately hold forward, and that's it. You have now reached high ground. If you're struggling with this tech, make sure to watch the fuse on the barrel go all the way down and then get ready to perform the inputs. A barrel could also be used to deny chompers from eating you, which is pretty neat. However, if the chomper player has more than 5 brain cells, they could just use spikeweed and get you out of the barrel and then kill you. So I wouldn't count on this strategy. But in conclusion, don't use barrel as an attacking option, but rather a defensive runaway option. The 81% defense boost is just too damn high to just not use it, so use it. It's there for a reason. A barrel's alternate ability is the bling barrel, which is a barrel, but golden. And that is literally it. There is nothing different. 500k down the drain. Let's go. There is an argument, however, that I always see thrown around, is that a bling barrel gives you less defense, even though it doesn't. So yeah, Parrot Pow, or Parrot for short, is Deadbeard's second ability. Upon using the ability, a Deadbeard is locked in place while summoning a bird. Instead of playing as Deadbeard, you play as the bird. So let's talk about it. The bird has its own movement, health, primary, and abilities. The bird has the ability to move right and left with the A and D keys on your keyboard, or the left joystick on your controller. The bird, however, cannot jump, which are where the abilities come into play. Your abilities 1 and 3, rather than abilities, are how you go up and down while holding them, not pressing them while holding them. So if you want to go upwards, you hold ability 1. If you want to go down, you hold ability 3. And of course, you can mix and match between the two. So if you want, you can go up and down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, down. You get the idea. The Parrot's second ability, rather than a movement option, is an entire airstrike. Upon pressing the ability, the airstrike will be placed in the direction you are facing. So for an example, if you look right below you, the airstrike will go right below you. And if you look in front of you, the airstrike will go right in front of you. Hope that makes sense. The Parrot also receives a fully automatic primary. This primary functions like an overheat weapon, which means after a certain amount of time, the primary will overheat. While in the Parrot, it's best for you to take on 1 versus 1 fights rather than group fights. Since you only have 5 health and you really don't deal that much damage, so fighting groups is most of the time just gonna kill you, so don't do that. Instead of being far away with the Parrot, try to shove on the Parrot right in the plant's face. This actually makes it harder for the plant to fire at your drone. Your Parrot just moves really damn quick, so try to use that as much as you could. But overall, I would recommend you to not even use the Parrot. Parrot overall is just really damn weak, and you have a Deadbeard right there who deals so much more damage and is just way better in general. But that's just my opinion, so yeah. Oh, one more thing. Sometimes using drone, this happens, and it kind of sucks.
Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! Please! I beg you!
The Parrot also has a strategy called drone riding. Drone riding is where you have your Parrot pal on the ground, and then another player is able to jump on your drone and then cause havoc. An important factor to take note of is make sure your Parrot is looking in one direction while drone riding. Once the player is on your Parrot, move in that direction very, very slowly. If you do go fast, the player will just fall, and you don't want that. Drone riding overall is just an incredibly fun strategy, and a lot of viewers have done this strategy on stream with me, and it always leads to just a funny moment happening on stream.
Yeah! Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh! Yes!
Wait, kill! Oh no! That would've been the coolest clip ever. Wait, kill! Murder! Yes! Clipping that. I'll kill.
Look at that! Oh my god!
Dude, who is this drone rider? Oh my god! The Parrot also received an alternate ability called Future Parrot. Future Parrot is slower, it deals more damage, and has more health. Which is better though? Personally, as a 5,000 hour player, I still don't know. Parrot Pal's mobility is excellent, but Future Parrot is just really clunky and slow. However though, Future Parrot hits way harder, so you really just have to decide, do you like movement more or do you like damage more? But you really can't go wrong with either or, so if you want to buy it from Rux, then be my guest. A Cannon Rodeo is Deadbeard's last ability, and the most funny ability, in my opinion. So as we previously went over, Barrel is used as a defensive runaway option. Parrot is just better to not use overall. So what does Cannon Rodeo actually do? A Cannon Rodeo is a mounted ability, meaning when pressed, you'll be strapped onto the ground, unable to move or jump. However, you receive a brand new primary. And this brand new primary fires cannonballs that deal 50 damage on direct, and also has a splash damage if aimed on the ground. Since this ability is a mounted ability, chompers are not able to burrow or eat you, which is pretty neat. But keep in mind, if the chomper player has more than 2 hours on the game, he can just spike weed you. So yeah, this ability really only has one use, and that one use being is if you can't shoot a plant who's behind a wall. And that's kind of it. Since once again, a Deadbeard's base weapon and barrel are just so damn good, you really don't want to use this ability for sniping or damage, since a Deadbeard overall is just way better at that. But of course though, this ability is super damn fun, I won't lie with you. And being able to just launch iron cannonballs that deal 50 damage per shot is just really damn funny to me. But if you're playing for like optimal Deadbeard gameplay, then only use this ability for hitting people behind walls. Besides that, not so much. But one more tip for the boys in the back. If you hold down the interaction key, which is E on keyboard, square on PS4, and X on Xbox, and then hold down the jump button, you could do backflips, and it looks really damn stupid, so yeah. This character is extremely broken. First off, he has 0 drop-off damage. 0 drop-off damage. We've already gone over what drop-off damage is, so I'll make this quick. If Reg Soldier stands in Mars, he deals 8 damage, but if Reg Soldier stands right next to you, he deals 10 damage. Meanwhile, if regular Deadbeard stands in Mars, he deals a 30 damage, and if he stands next to you, he also deals a 30 damage. This is really broken, since a regular Deadbeard could stand wherever he wants on the map. Mid-range, close range, long range, it does not matter. It does not matter. While aiming at the long and medium range distance, try to predict where the plant is going. So for an example, instead of aiming at the plant here, instead I was aiming at where the plant was going to go, which is why my shots were hitting the plant. Hope that makes sense. If you are close range though, just aim your reticle exactly on the plant. Deadbeard's shotgun takes 2 ammo out of your clip, however, it deals a heavy 38 damage per shot, which means this will only work at the close range and not at the medium or long range. 2 little bonus tips for the shotgun are, if you aim your reticle on the plant, this will increase the range very slightly, and 2, if there is 1 ammo remaining in your clip, you could still fire your shotgun, which is pretty neat if you ask me. And here is your optimal upgrade loadout. Damage and reload are pretty much required, but your third slot could be for either ammo, speed, or health. Captain Cannon is one of the best characters in the entire game. First things first, Cannon is a detonation character. Detonation characters have a very unique property to them. While firing your primary, a projectile is released, but if you press your primary once more, then you can explode your cannonball in the air, which when exploded has a massive hitbox released into the air. And if a plant is to be in the proximity of this hitbox, they will take a minimum of 32 damage. If you take this massive hitbox into consideration, you could also attack plants fully behind walls and cover, which is just really damn unfair. Since Cannon is a detonation character, there's no real aiming strategy to this character. It's more so you just have to learn the projectile speed with the primary, which isn't something I can really explain, so you really just have to play the character to really judge. But once you learn this projectile speed, there is literally nothing stopping you. You could attack behind walls, deal 40 plus damage, outsnipe almost anyone in the game. I mean, you have no counter. With a Cannon sniper, you can also corner peek very easily. If you peek a corner, shoot a shot, and then hide behind that piece of cover, you could still detonate your shot while still being behind the wall, which is really damn cheeky, I'm not gonna lie with you. A Cannon shotgun is also quite mediocre. It takes 2 ammo to use while only dealing 27 damage, which makes it seem like,
Oh, so if you rush Captain Cannon, then surely he's really vulnerable.
No. And here is your optimal upgrade loadout for Mr. Cannon. Since a cannon only has 8 ammo upgrade is required. Captain of Flameface is a character, that's for sure. He's the Deadbeard's fire variant, but just kinda sucks. For one, Captain of Flameface has 8 ammo. Only 8 ammo. So that's already off to a great start, huh? 2, a Captain of Flameface has a drop-off damage, which means from a max range, a Captain of Flameface only deals 18 damage per headshot, but at close range, it deals 24 damage. Why does a sniper character have drop-off damage? I have no idea. You could try to argue, however, that Captain Flameface is a up-close character. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So that must mean that his shotgun is extremely good, right? That was me spamming my mouse. Flameface's shotgun is so slow, while also taking 2 ammo to shoot per shot. But it inflicts fire damage, but like still, why is it so slow? The shotgun pretty much sucks, and you don't want to use it. While aiming with the Flameface from mid or long range, you will want to predict where the plant is going rather than aiming at the plant. So, for an example, rather than aiming where the plant is, aim where the plant is going. Meanwhile, if you are close range, aim the reticle on the plant. Flameface also has a unique property with his weapon called piercing. This piercing means if the 2 plants are standing right behind each other, you could hit both of them, which is a really cool gimmick, but like this never happens. so I don't count on it happening. Flameface also has a cool tech called a double ammo fire damage, where if you hit the plant with your sniper, then use your shotgun right away, you could deal a double fire damage, which instead of 5 of damage, you could deal 10 damage of fire damage. It's currently 2 a.m. and I forgot to write this in the script. I'm doing this part unscripted, but since a Flameface has a fire damage, which is an element, if a sunflower is to heal someone on fire, and then they are not on fire anymore. Stop, drop, and roll. Kinda crazy, man. And here's your optimal upgrade loadout. Captain Sharkbite is really damn unique, so let's talk about him. First things first, a Captain Sharkbite's gimmick. A Captain Sharkbite is a hit scan character. The term hit scan means the following. While aiming with a hit scan character, rather than aiming where the plant is going, you place your crosshair exactly on the plant, shoot, and the shot will hit, which makes aiming as Sharkbite very satisfying. Sharkbite also has 0 drop-off damage, which means no matter where you are on the map, you will still be hitting a 30 damage per headshot. Sharkbite's shotgun is also pretty unique. Rather than taking 2 ammo to use, it only takes 1. The rate of fire is not great though, so you're better off just running away in the barrel as we talked about earlier. Sharkbite's sniper also has a tiny bit of splash damage. So if you're feeling really damn lazy, which you really shouldn't be, but if you're feeling really lazy, fire at the ground and I guess you'll deal 4 damage. Hell yeah. And lastly, Sharkbite has an increased zoom in compared to every other pirate. So with that in mind, if you put on the zoom upgrade, you could see in Mars, dude. Like, look at this! It's kinda crazy, man. And lastly, here are the upgrades for Mr. Sharkbite. He is very versatile with his loadout, so feel free to use any of the upgrades and you are a-okay. Captain Partyman! He's not that good. Partyman is an echo fighter of regular Deadbeard, but he's worse in every single way. His headshot damage is 25, while his body shot is 21. With no drop-off damage, by the way. Meanwhile, regular Deadbeard deals 30 damage per headshot and 25 for body, while his shotgun deals 38 damage. Captain Partyman has 8 ammo, while regular Deadbeard has 12 ammo. So just comparing stats alone, it's very clear who's the better character in every single way. With his stats being worse, why would you ever play Captain Partyman? Well, Partyman's gimmick is his party meter. If Partyman gets either 5 normal or shared kills, he receives a legendary meter. While in this meter, he will automatically heal up to half health, receive extra damage, speed, and defense for a total of 30 entire seconds. Partyman's headshot damage goes from 25 to 32, the sniper's body shot goes from 21 to 26, and the 32 shotgun damage goes up to 40. A little bonus is that a cannon Rodeo also receives a damage buff, which goes from 50 to 62. Speaking of abilities, let's see Barrel's new damage. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Going into Barrel with party time cancels party time completely. Thanks, PopCap.
He said it! He said it!
And finally, here is your upgrade loadout for Mr. Partyman. Captain Squawk. I love this character so much and I have a lot to talk about, so yeah. First things first, Captain Squawk's ammo. Dude, hell yeah, what the heck? So Captain Squawk's shotgun and sniper are both completely unique ammo-wise. A Squawk's shotgun, rather than taking ammo, is an overheat weapon, which while held down, a bunch of green guts are sprayed out, which would deal 6 damage per tick while inflicting toxic damage. There's a very easy tech to perform to increase the shotgun's rate of fire. Rather than holding down the button, spam the button. There is absolutely 0 reason why you shouldn't already be doing this. It's a little bit of extra effort, but like, come on, man. Squawk's sniper though are where things get a little interesting. Rather than having a lot of ammo, he instead has 1 shot. This shot has 0 drop-off damage and will deal 46 damage for a headshot and 13.9 for a body shot, while of course I'm inflicting toxic damage. After firing your sniper with Squawk, one thing to really notice is your reticle. The reticle size will expand really big and then reset back to default. You could avoid this big crosshair by firing your sniper shot, letting go of your zoom in, and then immediately go back to your sniper. This is not a required tech to master, but it's just a little bit helpful, so keep that in mind. While aiming at the long or medium range as Captain Squawk, you need to aim really differently. As Squawk, you really need to predict where the plants are going. We've talked about this a little bit with the other variants earlier, but Captain Squawk really has to do this. So for an example, you could see how I'm aiming at my crosshair where the sunflower is nowhere even near, but rather I'm waiting for her to walk into my crosshair, and then I'm shooting. This is what makes Captain Squawk such a unique but difficult character to play. But if you can master this very unique aiming style, it feels so rewarding to hit shots. So once more, at a long and medium range distance, don't aim your reticle on the plant, don't predict their movement. Instead, aim your reticle and wait for the plant to walk into it. Very hard, but trust me, it's very worth it. And of course, if you're close range, then just aim the reticle on the plant and then fire. As we talked about earlier, Captain Squawk receives an overheat shotgun, but it really isn't that good. So I would recommend to just not even using it. But rather your sniper. If there's a plant close by, simply aim at your sniper and then immediately shoot. Once more, if there's a plant close by, quickly zoom in and then press sniper. This deals a lot more damage than your shotgun, so yeah. We've spoken about a lot of hard tech and strategies as Captain Squawk, but keep in mind, he's not an easy character to play. So please do not be discouraged from playing Captain Squawk. He's just very hard to master, but try him. I promise you, I'm literally giving you everything you have to know about Captain Squawk. So yeah, I promise you, there's nothing else but practice. Practice! And lastly, here is your recommended upgrade loadout.
Holy shit, what's up, Dry Bones? It's probably fake.
He must be really ugly.
You don't have the stutter. You don't have the stutter.
He
You don't have the stutter.